We are concluding season 6 of the Philippines Football League season in this save. We are going up against Stallion in the Philippines Football League Cup final, and then we will take on Kaya away from home in our last match of the season. That will conclude this episode. And then, of course, in the next episode, we will play the Champions League final against Al Nasser. And then after that, we'll do kind of an end of season review where I'll show you guys all the financials, any updates with the club, player comings and goings. But for now, we will be concluding the domestic season at least, with Stallion in the PFL Cup final and Kaya as the last match in the league. In the PFL Cup, of course, we have won the last 2 editions of the PFL Cup, so we'll be looking for 3 PFL Cups in a row. The nice thing is, due to our success and the success of the team I'm about to show you guys, in continental competition, the Philippines Football League as well as the PFL Cup have significantly increased their revenue. So before the winner prize money got 10K, this is now improved to 41K for the winner of the PFL Cup, which actually does help us enough to, be a significant improvement and be worth winning. So that'll be a nice little boost if we can beat Stallion. I do want to look at the PFL though as well before we get into things. Of course, we are going for back-to-back perfect seasons in the Philippines Football League. Last season, I thought we were amazing. 24 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, 115 goals scored, 16 goals allowed with a 99 goal differential, which at the time I thought was absolutely nuts. But this season, even though it doesn't feel like necessarily we've been so much better than last season, we are pretty significantly better, which I had felt in the Champions League, obviously, with how well we've done. But I haven't realized really how good we've been domestically as well. 23 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses. We've scored significantly more goals than last season. We're at 130. We've allowed a lot less. We've only allowed 9 goals. So we're going for not allowing double-digit goals in the season. And of course, we have 69 points and a 121 goal differential. So we're actually doing a lot better than last season. But the interesting thing is, Kaya have also done really, really well. So I guess I'll go back. They are in second, 14 wins, 2 draws, 6 losses. So actually, how did they do? They finished third last season. So they've had a pretty good season so far. But if I go to their schedule, they won the Confederation Cup Asian Zone final, which I was not expecting at all. We obviously lost this. For Kaya to go and win it really shows how we've helped to elevate the Philippines and the Philippines Football League. They did unfortunately lose in the interzone playoff semifinal to the team that did end up going to win it. If we look at their schedule here. Oh, just kidding. They're in the final, so they haven't won it yet. I thought they had already won it. But they have done really well in continental competition. They've done really well in the Confederation Cup. So well done to Kaya, because they actually went further than we ever went in the Confederation Cup, and they're helping to boost the Philippines as far as our reputation and rankings are concerned. But back to the kind of domestic side of things with us, we are going also to try and break the records that we didn't break last year. So we're going to look at history and records. We are the most times winner. We have the most points in a season, most league wins, fewest league defeats, so on and so forth. But we were going for a number of player awards that we didn't get last season. The big one being most overall goals by a player in a season, which is 28 by Kurt Dizon, who did it in 2024-25, like right at the beginning of the save. He also has the most goals by a player in a match award. Joseph Talarok has since tied that. But this is the big one. So we're going to try and break a few this season, and one of those has already been broken. If we look at the player overview here, Jesus Mendoza, who has been brilliant in our Champions League campaign, has 29 league goals this season, which means he's already broken the record, and he will be going for 30 league goals. I will be playing him in the match against Kaya to see if he can get his 30th league goal to become the first player in the history of the PFL in this save to get 30 goals. On the flip side, looking at the assists, Kenshiro Daniels currently has the assist record with 16. We have 3 players who are looking to break that. Gorotagui, Pradas, and Alonso are all within 2 assists of breaking that record. So that is one that could go down as well. And finally, if y'all remember Nelson Gossick, he had 9 shutouts, and that was a PFL record at the time. David Seed here, though, has 16 shutouts in the league. He has broken that record by a mile, and he'll be looking to add a 17th shutout to further that record even more. And of course, from my knowledge looking at team records, we have set a new record for most goals in a season. I think we could set a record for least goals allowed in a season. So we are doing everything we can domestically to show how dominant we really are. So with all that in mind, we are going to play our first match will be the PFL Cup final where we will be taking on Stallion. Looking at the schedule, this match is about 7 days away from the Champions League final first leg. So in this match, I am essentially playing the team that is going to be starting in the Champions League final first leg. The only big news is that Daniel McFall will play in the box-to-box midfielder role, as Yannick David is suspended for that first leg match. So Daniel McFall is the only change for this match against Stallion, but otherwise, this is the team. It's pretty much what you'd expect. Let's get into things. Stallion versus Mendiola in the PFL Cup final. Let's get a trophy lift. Let's get another domestic trophy, and we'll come back after the match. And Stallion, get us underway. In the PFL Cup final at Jose Rizal Stadium, I feel like we should win this game. Let's keep our Filipino dominance going and win another trophy. And we have easily won that header. John Lucero rising very high. Fajrli playing it into McFall. McFall, of course, who will have to play instead of Yannick David in the first leg of the Champions League final as David is suspended. But Atangana winning it again. He finds... Oh, there we go. That's a great ball out to Garotzategui. Garotzategui getting along the outside. Can he find Jesus Mendoza? What a save. And a common theme here is us winning the header in the second ball. This is something that we do, I think, really well, especially in Filipino play. Oh, Talaruk's in. Talaruk find the back of the net. It's another good save from Yambao. A brilliant start from their keeper. But this is really what we do in against other Filipino sides is we're more physical than they are, so we can win the first ball, win the second ball, and go forward and start attacks and stuff. As Talaruk rises high, as speaking of being bigger and better, Joseph Talaruk finding the back of the net. Pradas is not having the best game. For as good as he is, I think I'd like to see him playing a little bit better today, especially before such a big match. But fortunately, our defense is playing well. Santos here, playing on the left side. That's a lovely ball into Tyler. Just cross it in for Mendoza. Mendoza's going to score. Jesus Mendoza finds the back of the net. He has 42 goals this season. He's been brilliant in the league, brilliant in the Champions League, brilliant in the Cups, and he is our record one-season goal scorer. But that's well won by Santos. Great header from Mendoza. Play him back in. What a ball from Pradas. Talaruk scores. Luis Miguel Pradas with an absolutely brilliant pass in. Joseph Talaruk, the Filipino forward, has scored a brace in the PFL Cup final, and we lead easily. We haven't had any highlights for like 5 minutes, and it feels like it's been a long time. But Santos putting it in, looking for McFall, easily cleared, but Fajrli will put the ball back in. He finds Talaruk, and Talaruk has a hat trick in the PFL Cup final. And Garotzategui is injured. He has a twisted ankle. That's terrible before the Champions League. Hopefully he's going to be okay. But we need to take him off. Fortunately, we do have Emmanuel, who is very good. He could play, but that is not something that we like to see. There's another kickoff highlight. There's going to be like no cuts to this highlight in the edit. It's just going to keep going. It's going to be a long highlight. This is a long time for me to be doing commentary. But anyways, Stallion playing out of the back here. What are they going to... well won by Emmanuel. He's just come on and played a good win, but a terrible pass. That being said, Ferrosuelo here, with a bit of pace on him, he finds Santos. Santos playing it forward to... Ooh, this is a scrappy bit of play. But Mendoza, he finds... That's a wonderful ball. Find the back of the net. And it is 5. A 5-0 lead, and we're not even 30 minutes into the match yet. I mean, it's just highlight after highlight for us. We're playing brilliant. Emmanuel playing it in, well cleared, but only as far as John Lucero. Lucero playing it into Mendoza, and Mendoza with his 43rd goal of the season, makes it 6-0. I mean, the number of highlights we're getting is ridiculous. I don't know if even in just the regular matches we normally have this many highlights. I mean, we're certainly not normally up 6-0. Talarok, he finds McFall. Pradas here, find the right ball. That's a lovely ball to Lucero. That's going to be a half chance, really. Emmanuel playing it forward to Santos. This has to be the last opportunity of the half here. 3 minutes of added time, and we've nearly ended those 3 minutes. But Pradas winning it. Can he find the right ball? That's a good ball into Fagerly. Fagerly shoots, well saved by Yumbao. And that is the last play of the half. We are at halftime. I mean, we're leading 6-0. What more could we ask for? A comfortable PFL Cup final. Let's tell them how well they're playing. We'll go into the second half. Talarok gets us underway, and we are 45 minutes from a trophy lift on the channel. Fagerly playing it to Emmanuel. Emmanuel playing it to Mendoza. This is a great opportunity for Mendoza. Mendoza shoots. Mendoza scores. He has 44 goals this season. He has a hat trick. Talarok has a hat trick. He has scored 44 goals, and we lead 7-0. Ball won by Santos. He finds Pradas. Emmanuel can get along. That's a good ball into Pradas to Talarok. Find the killer through ball to Lloyd Fagerly. We're not quite there yet, but Santos wins it. He plays it in. That's a wonderful ball. That is brilliant play. Luis Miguel Pradas with a brilliant pass. Talarok with a nice finish. He has 4 goals on the day. And we have won the header. Pradas winning it in the middle. Pradas playing it to Talarok. Out wide to Fagerly. Find the right ball into the box. Cut it back. Daniel McFall makes it 9-0 to Mendiola. And that will be right before I put on some subs for Alonso, David, Leonardo, and Martin coming on. And we lead 9-0. We can work the ball out of the back nicely. David carrying the ball forward. Lovely ball out wide to Fagerly. That's a nice ball into David. Just find the inside ball here. Joseph Talarok with his 5th goal of the game. Joseph Talarok has 5 in the PFL Cup final, and we have 10. We have put up 10 goals. What a performance. Corner for Stallion here. Dav Lepmer putting it into the back post. Can they get a goal here? Well done to Stallion. Nascimento finding the back of the net. They're going to save me the clean sheet bonuses. A 10-1 victory in the PFL Cup final for Mendiola FC. Let's get a trophy lift on the channel. At a live episode, we haven't done a trophy lift for a while, but we are always happy to do one of these. Is that Jesus Mendoza lifting it? Here we go. Confetti to rain down from the sky. Another PFL Cup final win. The players are delighted. I'm delighted. And this is dominance, domestic dominance, exactly what we wanted. So I was curious after that huge win, and that in the PFL Cup final is the biggest win in the history of the PFL Cup. 10-1 Mendiola versus Stallion. We have made history in the final. But the unfortunate news is Francisco Gurazzategui, who of course we've got him back on loan, and he's been absolutely brilliant this season. He is going to be out for 5 to 6 weeks. That unfortunately does mean he will be out for the Champions League final, both legs. So we are going to have to make do without one of our star players. Well, that does give me a little bit to think about prior to the match against Kaya. I don't know who I'm going to play yet, but I will have a few in-game days to think about that. So I'll see you all in about 3 days when we come back for that final match against Kaya. All right, we have fast forwarded and continued to the match against Kaya. Again, Kaya have had a really good season, so this is not going to be an easy game away from home. I mean, we're going up against a team who won. Does it count as if we go to the landmarks here, if we go to the overview? I guess it doesn't count then as an actual trophy. But as I mentioned previously, they did win the Asian Zone final in the Confederations Cup. So they're a very good team. They've had a very good continental season as well. So this is going to be a very tough game. I've made a few decisions here. Of course, I mentioned previously I want Jesus Mendoza to have a shot at that 30 goal mark. So we were putting him in. And I'm sticking McFarlane because I want him to continue to improve his shape ahead of the Champions League first leg. The other decision the kind of big decision that I've decided to make is I'm starting Emmanuel here. Emmanuel will be the player to come in since Garotsetegi is injured. He will be playing in the Champions League final first leg. Just so you guys can look at him, he's had a very good season. 8 games domestically, 6 goals, 7 assists, and an 8.11 rating. He will be the long-term replacement to Garotsetegi now that Garotsetegi is going to leave. But I'm going to give him a shot because I haven't played him that much. So as a result, you guys can see his shape isn't good. So I want to make sure we improve his shape ahead of the Champions League final. But otherwise, this is the team. It's a lot of the foreign players who haven't been able to play much in the Champions League, getting their last games. Players like Martin and Leonardo coming in will continue to give Schwarzer an opportunity to improve his match fitness, and we'll give players like Daniels an opportunity as well. But this is the final match of the PFL season against Kaya. We're going for back-to-back perfect seasons and just to continue breaking some records here. So we'll go into the match and I will see you all in game. And we are underway. Vicente Alonso gets us underway to conclude Season 6 of the Philippines Football League for this save. To complete back-to-back perfect seasons, let's finish things off in style. And we have a throw here, Martin to Daniels. Daniels should have won that. He wins it there eventually. Finds Martin to McFall. Leonardo, can we go around the left-hand side here? Just beat your man and get the cross in. Beat your man and... Oh, Jesus Mendoza's got to finish that. For 30 PFL goals, he needed to finish that. I just want to give him 45, just to have a chance. And not a whole lot of chances in this first half. We might have wasted all the goals in the PFL Cup final. Leonardo playing it through to David. David to Alonso. Alonso to Mendoza. Mendoza shoots. It's over the bar. And we'll look to win the header. Well done for Osuelo. We win the second ball. Is this the actual highlight now? Mendoza here, played it to Emmanuel. Mendoza wins it. Find the goal. Find the back of the net. There is the highlight. Jesus Mendoza, the first ever player, at least in this save, to score 30 goals in one Philippines Football League season. That goes to Jesus Mendoza. Leonardo with the throw here. He finds Yannick David. Back to David. Decent ball in. Alonso to Daniels. Daniels shoots. Daniels scores. Vicente Alonso. I think that assist from Alonso might be the assist that takes him above Daniels, or maybe ties him with Daniels for most assists in a season. Well, honestly, not many highlights. Not the most exciting first half in the world. But we lead 2-0. We'll tell the lads that... we'll just tell them that they're doing well. And we'll go into the second half, and then in the second half, we'll take off Mendoza here, we'll take off McFall, and Ferrosuelo, all the players that will be playing in the first leg of the Champions League final. And Kaya will look to work the ball out of the box here. I have made those subs, J. Reyes, Carrion, and Lucero coming on. I will take Emmanuel off at like the 60-minute mark likely, since he'll be playing in that match too, but I do need him to get some more match fitness. As Kaya with a decent opportunity on the counter here. Well done winning it, Justin Boss. He will look to John Lucero. Lucero playing it over the top to... What a goal from Vicente Alonso! What a brilliant finish! The ball over the top with the first time volley. That was so good, we have to see it again. It went to John Lucero, who's just come on. He played the ball over the top. And Vicente Alonso finishes first time ball coming over his shoulder. What a goal. And of course, on the final game of the season, Nicolas Medea, who of course, one of the OGs as far as players who came through our youth system are concerned. We're putting on Medea. I haven't talked about Medea in a while. He is still on a part-time contract, on a non-contract, so he just makes £2 but I never need to renew his contract. I never need to renew it because, I mean, he's just always there. If you're on a non-contract, you're always here. So he's been on a non-contract for this whole time. It costs almost nothing to pay him to play, and he will get the final match here, so that he continues making appearances for Mendiola. Kaya Watanabe to put it in. Decent opportunity, and Juan Song, our former player, saves us on the clean sheet bonus. And it is 3-1 now. Leonardo here as we try to make things a little bit more comfortable for the end of the match. Vicente Alonso at the back post, and we have a pen. Who is taking? I don't even know who's taking the pen. I think it might be Luis Miguel Pradas. Luis Miguel Pradas to stand over it and take the pen. I don't even really know what happened with the pen, but he shoots, he scores, and it is 4-1. And 18 goals this season for Pradas. That is a good number from a central midfielder. Only about 3 minutes left. 4-1 victory. This is what we expected. Comfortable victory over a team that won the Asian Zone final in the Confederation Cup. So we will be happy with how this turns out. David putting the ball in. 4-2 victory from the looks of it. Kaya certainly making it interesting at the end of this game. A thriller to end the PFL season for us. And that is full time. A 4-2 victory to complete back-to-back perfect seasons in the Philippines Football League. Vicente Alonso with a brilliant performance. I wonder who the man of the match was. But we will tell everyone that it was a good win. And now we look forward to the biggest matches of this save. Well, that concludes Season 6 of the Philippines Football League in this save. We are back-to-back perfect seasons, 24 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses. 134 goals scored is insane. 134 goals in just 24 matches. That's crazy. Last season I thought we scored a lot of goals. The fact that we've scored more goals and allowed less goals is really a testament to how good and what an improvement our team has made this season. We've also got a plus 123 goal differential and 72 points. And of course, we do have a number of records that we have broken, including most goals scored. But looking at our player overview here, Jesus Mendoza got to the 30 goal mark. He is the first player in the history of the PFL in this save to get to the 30 goal mark in a season. Vicente Alonso tied for the most assists. His 16 assists is tied with Conchiro Daniels for most assists in a season. And David Seed got his 16th shutout. Not in this game. He already had 16 shutouts, but that is a new record as well. In total, David Seed actually only allowed 4 goals this season, but I would sub on Julian Schwarzer to improve his match fitness, so a lot of those goals ended up because of him as well. We do have some of these records updated, but most of them will update at the actual end of the season, because if we go back to the Philippines Football League here, as you guys can see, some teams still have to play each other, so the season isn't technically over. It'll end sometime between our Asian Champions League final. But that all being said, we have had a very good domestic season. Of course, our only losses being in the Champions League here. Actually, the only games we lost have been here, and then all the way in the Champions League semifinal second leg. We've only lost 3 matches this season. That is I don't know if I've really appreciated how good this season is. But of course, in the next episode, we will be playing the Champions League final against Al Nassr in the first and second leg. And that is going to be for all the glory. That could essentially end the save. I mean, that would accomplish everything we could possibly accomplish. But it is going to be extremely tough. Al Nassr, I mean, we looked at them in the last episode, but players like Casemiro, Son Heung-min, they have Marmachishvili. I can't pronounce his name, but they've got him in goal, the Georgian goalkeeper. They're an absolutely insane team. They're going to be the best team we've played in this save. But we can definitely, I mean, we've surprised, I've definitely been surprised at how well we've done this season. One more surprise would be pretty awesome. So again, in the next episode, we will conclude the Champions League campaign. After that, we'll do an end of season review where we look at everything from the season. We'll take a look at the state of the club. We'll do like a state of the union with the club. where we look at the financials, the financial implications of being in the Champions League final and winning the Philippines Football League and winning the PFL Cup. And maybe we'll look around the world as well, and then we'll take a look at what is ahead next season. But that is everything that's coming up. Thank you for sticking with me through these 6 seasons. We have concluded this domestic season, and we will be playing for continental glory in the next episode. So again, a massive thank you to you all for still being here and for supporting this save. It's been so much fun, and hopefully we can do you all proud in the Champions League final. But until then, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the Champions League final. Bye.